Welcome back to my channel. A private airport buzzed with activity as executives rushed toward a sleek white business jet worth over $60 million. Inside the VIP lounge, Billionaire CEO Victoria Hayes adjusted her sunglasses and glanced impatiently at her watch. "We're already 10 minutes behind schedule," she snapped. The chief pilot nodded nervously. "The final inspection is almost complete, ma'am." Victoria crossed her arms. "It better be." Just then, a maintenance engineer sprinted across the runway. "Stop. Nobody boards that aircraft." Everyone froze. The engineer climbed aboard for another inspection. 5 tense minutes later, he returned with a pale face. "I'm grounding the jet." Victoria's expression hardened. "What?" "A hidden crack has been found inside the landing gear support. If this plane flies today, there's a serious safety risk." The entire executive team gasped. "This is impossible," one director whispered. Victoria glared at the maintenance crew. "Who missed it?" Silence. At that moment, a quiet man pushed a cleaning cart across the hangar floor. His faded uniform carried a small name tag. Daniel Carter. Most employees barely noticed him. He cleaned offices, hallways, and airport bathrooms every night. One executive laughed. "Funny, the janitor arrived before the engineers." Another smirked. "Maybe he can fix the airplane." Everyone chuckled. Daniel simply smiled politely and continued sweeping. Victoria didn't even look at him. "This isn't your business." Daniel nodded. "Yes, ma'am." As he turned away, his eyes briefly stopped on the damaged landing gear. Something about it caught his attention. He quietly walked closer. One mechanic frowned. "Hey! Stay back." Daniel pointed carefully. "May I ask one question?" "What?" "Did anyone inspect the secondary hydraulic lock?" The mechanic rolled his eyes. "That's not your concern." Daniel nodded again. "I understand." He slowly walked away. But one elderly inspector looked surprised. "Wait." He examined the exact place Daniel had mentioned. After removing a protective panel, everyone stood speechless. Hidden behind the damaged section was another dangerous fault. The hydraulic lock had nearly failed. The old inspector whispered. "If this wasn't discovered..."
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Enjoy the video.
The landing gear could have collapsed during landing. Complete silence filled the hangar. Every engineer looked at Daniel. Victoria frowned. How did a janitor know that? Daniel simply answered. "I've seen something similar before." One executive laughed. "Lucky guess." Daniel didn't argue. He picked up his mop and continued cleaning. Later that afternoon, heavy rain trapped everyone inside the airport. Since the jet was grounded, Victoria had no choice but to wait. She walked through the maintenance building searching for coffee. Passing an old storage room, she noticed Daniel sitting alone during his lunch break. Instead of eating, he was helping his 8-year-old daughter with homework over a video call. The little girl smiled. "Dad, did you remember my science project?" Daniel pulled a small handmade model airplane from his backpack. "I finished it after work." Her eyes sparkled. "You're the best dad." Victoria quietly watched from outside the doorway. She had expected a lonely janitor. Instead, she saw a father doing everything possible for his daughter. The call ended. Daniel carefully wrapped the airplane model so it wouldn't break. Victoria walked inside. "You built that?" Daniel smiled. "My daughter dreams of becoming an aerospace engineer." Victoria looked surprised. "Interesting." She noticed several thick aviation books beside his lunchbox. "Why are you reading these?" Daniel hesitated. "I enjoy learning." One manager entered the room and laughed loudly. "Our janitor thinks he's a pilot." Everyone nearby laughed again. Daniel stayed silent. Victoria walked away without saying another word. That evening, the airport's chief engineer reviewed old employee files. Suddenly, he froze. "No." He rushed into Victoria's office. "You need to see this." She looked up. "What now?" He placed an old photograph on the table. The picture showed Daniel wearing a flight test uniform years earlier. Beside him stood several famous aerospace engineers. Victoria looked confused. "Who is this?" The engineer answered quietly. "Daniel Carter." She frowned. "Our janitor?" "Yes." He opened another file. Before disappearing 15 years ago, Daniel Carter was one of the youngest aircraft systems specialists in the country. Victoria's eyes widened. "That's impossible." The engineer continued. "He helped design emergency hydraulic safety systems still used on modern business jets." Victoria slowly sat down. "If that's true." The engineer nodded. "Then today, the janitor may have saved every person who was supposed to board your aircraft." Victoria stared silently at the old photograph. For the first time since meeting Daniel, she realized the quiet single dad pushing a cleaning cart had been hiding a past that no one could have imagined. Subscribe.